Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ramona. Since the 1990s, we've learned a lot about forgiveness, and not just about the effects of forgiveness on the forgiver. We have research that brings focus to the entire context around this highly impactful personal incidences that deeply affect our relationship with ourselves and others. Studies on forgiveness have focused on what happens after such transgressions, the changes in health behavior and communication between groups, between you and yourself, between you and your higher power. We now recognize that forgiveness is so much more than just an emotional perspective, and we understand that it has these physical and mental, relational, and sometimes even spiritual components. In fact, even though many cultures really value forgiveness, most people struggle to achieve it, right? So identifying what that struggle is all about is our focus today. So let's listen in as Dr. Renee describes what modern science and ancient wisdom have to say about forgiveness as a vibrational medicine. It's not as hard as you think. And the long-term health and happiness benefits are incredible when you finally understand the energy behind forgiveness and move beyond the struggle. So here we go. Hi, this is Dr. Renee. You know that memory that comes up when someone starts talking about forgiveness? The one that you keep pushing back into the corner of your mind because you're not ready to deal with it yet? Even though as soon as that thought comes up, the whole story crosses your mind and you feel those wounded feelings when you think about the incident. That betrayal, perhaps that humiliation, again. Therein lies the foundation of your struggle, your eternal self against your manifested ego. Like universal love against conditional love, the power of the heart against the emotions trapped in the body. So what will it take for you to finally be ready to face your internal struggle? Well, Dr. Ramona and I believe that the solution to this energetic blockage rests with our perception of the struggle as a seesawing internal conflict about the deservedness of forgiveness. We're either all in and the seesaw is up, or we're all out and the seesaw is down. Up equals complete forgiveness, and down equals never in a million years. At the fulcrum of this event is this emotional seesaw is our hurt. And that shouldn't be a big surprise to you, because when we're in complete forgiveness, our hurt gets transformed and self-love reigns. And when we reject forgiveness, our hurt transmutes into dis-ease and fear. Now I want you to absorb this. The struggle is about your hurt over the transgression perpetrated against you. And your perception about that hurt holds the key to releasing that struggle and allowing you to embrace the mind, body, spirit, health, and happiness. So each time you replay that movie, that memory movie, you give your permission for that transgression, that betrayal, to inflict further injury onto your own body's trillions of cells. And that wound has an energetic, vibratory signature. It says to your cells, hey, I'm hurt. And your cells respond with that energy of stress. They activate energetic, electrical, and chemical signals that mobilize your cells and your body's systems to protect your field, your biofield. And that type of protection manifests as a limitation of sorts. It actually shrinks your energetic field. It makes it harder for others to reach you and for you to reach out. Here's the kicker. Feeling hurt is a choice. Yes, it's a choice. No one can make us feel hurt, just like no one can make us love them. We are choosing to continue feeling hurt because the justification for it, perhaps, is staying wounded and feeling in pain. But ultimately, it doesn't matter so much why. Modern science and ancient wisdom tell us that staying healthy means forgiving actively. So the seesaw needs to take us up, and we need to make different choices. When you truly understand that being hurt is a choice you make actively, your awareness shifts, and forgiveness then takes on this other dimension, and free will begins to transform that struggle. Let's talk about just 5 of the benefits for choosing forgiveness, and all of these have been backed up by research or ancient wisdom. Benefit number 1, forgiveness lowers the risk of heart attack, improves cholesterol levels and sleep, reduces pain, blood pressure, anxiety, depression, and stress. Benefit number 2, forgiveness allows for the growth of empathy and compassion. And this is huge. Ultimately, we know the world needs more compassion. Expanding our own sense of devotion, loyalty, and humility allows for us to change the world by changing ourselves. Benefit number 3. Forgiveness is key to repairing damaged emotional bonds. Now, stable long-term relationships don't stay that way unless we work at it. Forgiveness is a key tool in repairing this process. After all, we live in an interconnected world, and we are constantly learning to be more self-responsible for our emotions. Benefit number 4. Forgiveness reduces rumination. What's that again? That's that unwanted, unregulated, negative, emotion-based, obsessive thinking. Rumination causes many health challenges and has been shown to lead to anger issues, obsessive compulsive problems, PTSD, and more. Forgiveness reduces these. Lastly, benefit number 5. Forgiveness supports healing. And that's because our molecules of emotion actually vibrate at rates and intensities that impact our well-being. So forgiveness is a higher frequency emotion that supports healing through love. Now that you know what you hope to gain for your hard work, let's take a quick look at what ancient wisdom and science suggest you can do to change your forgiveness profile. So in other words, to move the seesaw up. And we're going to close with 4 practices to help you achieve those goals. First, find your grudges and your triggers. Work to understand them and release their energy back into the quantum, because if you've learned their lessons. Now, when you hold a grudge, rumination happens and you harbor ill will. And such resentment can't help but disturb your inner peace and your calm. So negative emotions churn up rumination and they keep your body's biofield in inflammation, which over time will result in dis-ease and sickness. Ill will also stops positive karmic patterns from affecting your field, and it blocks your awareness to your higher power within. So searching after and removing those grudges and those triggers is, in a way, it's like a purification process, and you're burning out the seeds of wrong action, of negative karma, and allowing for a deeper personal exploration of universal love. You know, karma, in its own type of conditioning, it limits you with a certain type of pattern of awareness, rather than just an experience of higher levels of consciousness. So weeding out the seeds of karma that you live with helps you attune more to nature and to the attractive force of love. The second thing that you can do to reduce your struggles. Paramahansa Yogananda suggests that we don't think so much about reforming others, but rather think about reforming ourselves. If we can be an angel at home, we can be an angel anywhere. And that's sort of an interesting take, right? So let's concentrate on improving our own behavior, engaging in some introspection and finding out if you participated in creating the inharmony that's keeping you from the forgiveness. If so, allows you to take action. And if so, do it. The third thing that you can do to reduce your struggle is to pay attention to your feelings. And this doesn't mean being narcissistic. It means that feelings point you to your underlying hurt. And remember, hurt is a choice, and we don't have to feel it. So choosing forgiveness does not mean that you condone evil or harm done to others. Forgiveness doesn't require you to forget. What you need to do is to harbor no feelings of hatred and vengeance, because it's the feelings that are important. It's the feelings that affect our own biofield within ill health. So let's pay attention to those feelings and choose to forgive with positive emotions, so we end up with long-term good health and well-being. The fourth thing you can do to reduce your struggle. None of us is infallible, and we are all guilty of ignorance, since none of us is fully conscious or completely self-aware. Therefore, let's choose forgiveness and separate wrong actions done against us from the doer of those actions. You know, this suggests that there are times that we ourselves will act to bring pain and sorrow to others, because we are ignorant or under some sort of delusion or conditioning. And this can't be helped because we are in the earth school. If we recognize that the wrongdoer is just another instance of ourselves operating out of ignorance or limitation, it becomes easier, maybe acceptable, to forgive the ignorant doer, but not the action. So the forgiveness we offer others helps us to heal from their actions and the appropriate consequences of justice in turn. The fifth thing you can do to reduce your struggle There's an interesting consequence of wrong thought. Ancient wisdom suggests that thoughts or physical acts don't cease to be just because they're completed, but they remain in the recesses of the brain, and they remain there as this energy impression called samskars. Now, these samskars or impressions need to motivate inner urges or tendencies to repeat these thoughts and actions. In a way, it's an energetic explanation for why rumination is bad for us, because rumination on some subject created deep samskar grooves in the brain, and it also suggests why meditation is helpful, because meditation slowly disintegrates the seeds of these samskars by burning away grooves of bad habit, bad karma, in the light of this deep, higher vibration. So, to stop the result of past wrong thoughts or actions from repeating, the samskars have to be removed, and forgiveness is a key way of processing this removal. How do you practice forgiveness? It's helpful to remember that forgiveness is also a choice you are making. You offer empathy and compassion to others, and you offer understanding and pardon to yourself. And then you establish your practice and commit with self-discipline to making your forgiveness a vibration that's palpable in the presence of your biofield. Now, here are 5 practices to get you started. 1. Say the words, I forgive you. If you can't say them directly to the offender, write them out and say them to yourself and read them over and over again, because forgiveness is your healing practice. Number 2. Practice a therapeutic forgiveness program that has proven results, and we've listed a couple of them below. Number 3. Commit to being more detached from the roller coaster of human emotions. This form of detachment is about self-control and self-responsibility, not separation from others in the world around you. Number 4. Start a regular meditation practice. For some, that'll be just a routine of contemplation and introspection. For others, it's a consistent guided imagery session process. And for others still, it's about deep breathing. How you meditate doesn't matter as much as that you do practice. The regularity of it will help you embody your vow to forgive by giving energy and light to the grooves of karma that are etched within your brain, helping you to reshape the negative emotions and patterns of behavior that no longer serve you. And number 5, for those of you who view the universe and its dimensions of reality from a quantum fluctuation perspective of a collective subjective unity, you will have recognized that forgiving others is a form of forgiving the self. We are all one another's keepers, and that being the case, we remain a unique derivation of unity consciousness in 3D-dimensional reality. We are expressing itself to gain experience of the whole. Forgiveness from this vantage point is how we express our adopted autonomy and live our responsibility to the unity consciousness of which we are part. And who doesn't want that? So today, Dr. Renee described what we believe to be some of the physical, emotional, and spiritual health and healing benefits coming your way when you commit to forgiveness. We also described 5 things that you can do to reduce the impact of your struggle with hurt on your mind and body. And we also provided 5 ways to practice forgiveness. Ultimately, the choice has always been yours. Forgiveness is good for the offender, but it's great for you. This one decision, when put into practice, has the power to change your state of being, bringing you greater health and healing that can be life-altering. And you know what? Who wouldn't want that? Don't forget to check out the resources we talked about. Both science and spirit support your decision. Thank you so much for joining us for this session on the amazing benefits of forgiveness. We'd love to answer any questions you might have, so you can connect with us and check out our website at www.rollihs.com. There's a direct connect in the description. Also, if you want to learn and practice with us, please subscribe and also check out our other videos. We're the Roll Twins, and we connect science to ancient wisdom in downloads that offer healing. Peace and love to you and yours.